Lynn, good afternoon. Always great to see you.
Good afternoon. Always a pleasure to be here as well.
And we look forward to the next half hour. I always look forward to this half hour every time we do it. What do you do it? The first and third Thursdays of every month. So we get a chance to catch up on all that is happening at the Capitol Center for the Arts. And as you said, you are really in your busy season right now.
We sure are. We just published our playbill, which listed all the shows for the upcoming season. When you come to the Capitol Center for the Arts, if the usher doesn't hand you a copy, please ask for one. It'll help you plan the upcoming season. It also includes a list of all our members and sponsors because, quite honestly, we couldn't do it without them.
Well, absolutely not. And any arts institution like yours needs as much local patronage as they can possibly get. And I know there's a great deal of local support for the Capitol Center for the Arts.
There most certainly is, and we appreciate it a lot.
No question about it. Well, let's talk about some of the things. First of all, the great Lyle Lovett show last Saturday. How did that go?
That was an absolutely wonderful show. My husband and I were there amongst more than 1,000 other people. And we hope the Pulse listener who won tickets the last time we were on the air enjoyed the show as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that they did. How could you not, right?
Really.
And some of the things coming up next week just boggle the mind. In fact, one I was not even aware of until I saw it earlier today. But start off with a Dream Theater, which is going to be there on Columbus Day night.
Dream Theater's a band that a lot of your listeners are probably familiar with. They're a progressive metal band. They were big in the 80s and have just kept moving forward since then. I understand there was an interview with their keyboardist last week, and that aired on your station just yesterday.
Right, exactly, yeah. Our good friend Zach did that interview and played on Jim Frank's show yesterday. So that is coming up on Monday. And looking forward to that with Dream Theater, a progressive metal band. And then the one that stood out to me, I mean, when I saw this, my eyes popped. Denny Lane with Chad and Jeremy coming up next Wednesday night.
Yep, that's in our Spotlight Cafe. That's a 250-person seat venue right on the first floor as you come into the Capitol Center for the Arts. It's a great way to hear the artists and get to know them. The show that we had going on last week, the performers even came into the lobby during the intermission, posed for pictures, and met the local fans. It was wonderful.
Wow. Now, Denny Lane, for those who don't know, and you should know, an original member of the Moody Blues, sang the first big hit, which was Go Now. One of your favorite songs, Lynn.
It is.
And also was a member of Wings with Paul McCartney as well.
Really talented guy.
Oh, my goodness. Denny Lane and Chad and Jeremy, well, they're great hits over the years as well. I mean, that's going to be a terrific show. And that is in the Spotlight Cafe.
That is. There's just 250 seats there. So if people want to make sure they get a seat, give a call to our box office or give us a call, and we'll make sure that you've got the seats.
Wow, that is going to be one fantastic night at the Spotlight Cafe, a very intimate setting. In the Capitol Center for the Arts. I've seen a number of shows in the Spotlight Cafe, and to see Denny Lane and Chad and Jeremy up close like that is going to be a terrific thrill for a lot of people.
Oh, it sure will.
Yeah. And then Josh Ritter coming up next Thursday, and we talked to Josh a few shows back, and he gave away a pair of tickets to that show, so hopefully the ticket winner will enjoy it, and I'm sure Josh will put on a fabulous show. And tickets still available for that one?
Tickets are still available for that one. For people who may not be familiar with Josh, we put a lot of his videos up on the Capitol Center webpage.
Great.
And there was also an article in today's Hippo Press about the show.
All right. Well, that is fabulous to hear. And other shows coming up. The Indigo Girls. A lot of people are big fans of the Indigo Girls. And country western singer-songwriter Jamie Johnson as well.
This was somebody I wasn't familiar with when they were booked, and then I learned about him. 11-time Grammy winner. This show's being put together in conjunction with the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion. It's part of their Off the Farm series, and we have a pair of tickets to give away for that.
Wow. Oh, that is fabulous. So that's Jamie Johnson, and that's coming up on October the 22nd. The Indigo Girls are October the 30th. when you said it's your busy season, Lynn, you weren't fooling around.
I wasn't kidding. And this is going to be going this way straight through the holidays and into 2017.
It just picks up, and this playbill, the fall 2016 playbill, which you can pick up at the Capitol Center for the Arts, is fabulous. It gives you all the information, a little synopsis of the performers or shows that are coming up at the Capitol Center for the Arts, and what a lineup you have. You truly have an incredible lineup. Just thumbing through this and looking at Jamie Johnson, 11-time Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter. And again, we'll have tickets to give away for that performance right here before you sign off today, Lynn, here on The Pulse. So that is a terrific thing. And what else should we be aware of before Bob Marley calls in?
Well, we are also all set. Tickets, as you know, make absolutely fabulous holiday presents. It's hard to imagine that on a beautiful day like today with the leaves and the pumpkins out that it's going to be the Christmas season before you know it. But we have tickets available, and if you don't know what show the recipient might like, we also have gift cards available.
I was going to ask you about that, because sometimes you don't know what dates people are available and that sort of thing. So a gift certificate to the Capitol Center for the Arts would be a fabulous Christmas gift. I would love to see one of those under my Christmas tree, as a matter of fact, because you have so many great things coming up. And one that we did not mention, but coming up next month, very early next month, the Beach Boys. And I don't know if the Beach Boys have ever played in Concord. I don't know.
They're coming on Saturday, November 5th, and we're really looking forward to it. The tickets have been selling very well. There's still tickets left. So, again, if you want to ensure yourself that you're going to be there, give us a call. And
Mike Love will be there. He has a new book out. And Bruce Johnston as well. And I saw them a little over a year ago. I've seen them a number of times, but the most recent was a little over a year ago. And they are fabulous. They put on a terrific show. They really and truly do. So tickets are still available, but I would say, make it happen and get those tickets as soon as possible, because I think that show is certain to sell out. Right now it is 3:15. It's Curtain Call with Lynn Sabian, the marketing manager from the Capitol Center for the Arts in Concord. And another individual who's going to be at the Capitol Center for the Arts in the not-too-distant future is the one and only Bob Marley. Bob, how are you today?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. It's great to hear from you, Bob.
Yes, thanks for having me. I was in Florida, and I was actually in West Palm Beach until Monday. I just got out of there. I did shows down there, but I was lucky to get out of there in time, I guess.
Yes, you were. And we were all lucky that you got out in time, Bob, or else you wouldn't be able to perform in Concord in all likelihood. But it's great. It's great to know you're safe. And
it's good to be back in New England. I was down there, and they got some characters down there. I'm nothing to look at, but I was in the 7-Eleven. There's a lady in front of me with flip-flops on. Her baby toe was bigger than her big toe.
What does that say about the people down there? I don't know. I really don't know how to.
I don't know, but that's like Guinness Book type of stuff.
Yes, get those Guinness people. We need those Guinness people to check her out.
That's right.
For sure. Well, Bob, I'll tell you what. Obviously the presidential campaign has about a month to go, but they've been pretty much writing your material. Material for the last few months, I would have to think.
Yeah, it is a circus, isn't it? We got 360 million people, and this is what we're left with. I have no idea. I don't know who to pick and what to do. And I said to my mother, "Who are you voting for?" And she goes, "I don't know, Bobby." I was driving around town, and I was seeing signs on people's lawns, and I got to tell you, this Keller Williams guy is really starting to win me over. I go, "What are you talking about, Mom?" She goes, "Bobby, he is reality." I go, "That's realty, Ma. He's a real estate agent." It's going to be a circus. I don't know.
Going to be. I think it already has been, right?
Well, it has been. Absolutely. You're right. And you don't know. They could say, either one of them could say anything at this point, and I would be like, is that true? I mean, they could say anything. They got 5 heads growing out of that. Well, I better check that. I don't know. It could be. Who knows?
They don't, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And, I mean, we've had a crazy – this is going to be a good weekend coming up here. It's good. It's nice foliage popping. And Sunday, the King returns at 1 p.m. Tom Brady will be back in the saddle at 1 p.m. This fifth game is going to be like the resurrection of the big man.
Yeah, well, yeah, without question, yeah.
I think what they should say is, on the fifth game, he rose again, deflated the balls, gave it to his receivers, and said, take this, all of you, and run with it.
That sounded very John Facenda-like.
Yes, it did. Hey, did you hear about Tom Brady in Italy? He was photographed sunbathing nude.
You know, I did not catch those pictures, Bob.
Yeah, they had that, and it was last week. It was all over the Facebook and everything, and people were kind of like, "Why would he do that?" Let me say something. If I look like Tom Brady, and if you've seen me up close, you know that it's a far cry.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah, I have.
I would, but if I looked like him, I would be naked all the time. I would have flown to Italy on the plane naked, and I would be playing against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday completely naked.
I don't think that's going to happen, but Lynn is here. Lynn from the Capitol Center for the Arts has a question or two for you, Bob.
Sure. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, how are you today?
Doing great, thanks. I'm pumped to come back to the Cap Center. It's going to be a ripper.
We were looking forward to having you as well. 2 shows that night. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we've been there now, I think, probably 8 or 9 years anyway.
Yeah, you were talking at the beginning of your interview about a woman that you thought should be in the Guinness Book. There are a few listeners here that might not know that you yourself went after a world's record for stand-up. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, what happened was I was sitting around with some of my comedian friends, and I keep turning out CDs every year, and they're like, you have a lot of CDs. And I'm like, I keep making them. People buy them. I just, I like to write stuff. And they said, that's got to be a record. So they started Googling it, and we didn't find anything on that. But what they did find is the longest show by a single comedian, and it was 38 hours. So they said, you should try to break that. I'm like, I don't know about that. But we ended up putting it together for the Children's Hospital up here in Maine, the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital over at Maine Medical Center, which is a great place. They never turn kids away. They take everyone, insurance, no insurance, they take care of the kids. It's awesome. And so we did it for them, and we raised about $30,000, and I did 40 hours straight on stage.
Now, I heard you went more than a whole day without saying the same joke twice. Is that so?
Well, I went about 18 hours, and we didn't know exactly what the rules are, but my tour manager called me the day before, and he said, well, I've been speaking to the people at the Guinness, and apparently after 4 hours, you're allowed to repeat material. I said, well, that would have been nice to know about 3 months ago.
Jeez.
I've been down in the basement here like Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting, writing stuff on the windows. But I did. I went about 18 hours, and then we got through it. Thankfully, it was long. My relatives, all my aunts, they're all Irish Catholic, and all they wanted to know about was the bathroom. What about the bathroom, Bobby? What do you do about the bathroom? Because I don't even. If I have one black coffee, I can't make it back from Dunkin'. I says, well, you get a 5-minute break every hour. And of course, I didn't take them. Typical New England guy. I'm like, I'm going to save up all my time. And about 16 hours in, I had a whole bunch of time, so I closed my eyes for 12 minutes. That was a mistake. That would be like stopping drinking halfway through a Kenny G concert. I recovered and made it through okay, but I think somebody else broke it a couple months ago. Somebody went longer, I think, but I don't think I'd go for it again. It was painful.
New England's king of comedy, Bob Marley, is with us. Now, you said that your 2 shows on November 12th at the Cap Center would be rippers. You said rippers, like with your best Maine accent. But speaking of ripper, any truth to the rumor that you were going to be the new co-host with Kelly Ripa on her morning talk show? Is there any truth to that rumor, Bob?
No, no truth to that. I haven't sat in with him yet. I don't know if I'd fit in there well with all my Patriots gear down in New York. But no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And what I tell people about my show is if you come, I change the show every year at the Cap Center. So if you see me there last year and you come this year, the show will be completely different. Because as long as you have problems, you have jokes, and I have a lot of problems. And I always tell people, if you come and see my show, there's no way you're going to leave and not feel better about your own life.
Well, that's always a good thing, right?
Yeah.
That's always a good thing. It's very therapeutic. It's a very therapeutic show that you have, Bob.
It really is. And you listen to my problems, and you'll be like, okay, I think I'm better off than that guy.
How many dates a year do you do now, Bob?
Well, I've been doing, we average 3 or 4 a week, so I guess, and sometimes, like, I just went on a 3-week run through Denver and Florida, and I was doing sometimes 2-3 shows a night, so I don't know, probably 250 or something like that. We're doing a lot of them, and they're bigger venues now. So when I lived in Boston, I was doing up to like 60 sets a month, but I was running from club to club to club, trying to hone it, and get better years and years ago. And then we spent 11 years in Los Angeles working, 7, 8 shows a week on Sunset Strip, working and trying to get better at it, and then doing a lot of TV stuff and some movie stuff out there. And then when our kids came, we decided to move back to Maine because I wanted them to have what I had, which is horrible weather and no money. So we came back.
So you've been around long enough now, Bob, to know what plays in certain areas. I'm sure what might be funny in Concord, New Hampshire isn't really, funny in Phoenix, for example.
Yes.
You have to have different kind of shows for different audiences, right?
Absolutely. I mean, well, I just went to like West Palm Beach, and what's great about that is I just give them a hard time about having the luxury of sunshine past 3:30 in the afternoon. So I just go up there and hammer them. I'm like, you look at you people out here with all your teeth and all your toenails, and we have milky white legs with tube sock lines on our shins 9 months a year up here, and I just give them a hard time, and they basically know when they look at me, they're like, okay, well, we like him, we don't know why, we don't have one of them, so like it works all around the country. It's fun. That's a big question I always get. How do you work anywhere else? Because it's all about New England. And I go, no, I just tell them about us, and they relate to it, and there's a lot of transplants, too. We get tons of people that come to the shows outside of New England.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there are maniacs everywhere.
Well, I was down in Florida, and I said, yeah, I'm from New England, and they all started clapping, like half the room. And I said, oh, these are the people that like New England so much, they moved away. So,
at least for part of the yeyear, anyway.
Yes. And I've been fielding calls this morning from my mother up here because she's concerned about flu shots. That's where the age she's at now. Did you get your flu shot today, Bobby? And I'm like, I didn't, Mom. Did you get yours? Yes, I did. I got it at Shaw's. I'm like, Shaw's? When did we start administering flu shots with that much liberty? Like, I remember as a kid, it was like, it had to be administered in a medicinal environment by a guy with a smock on, at least. It wasn't over at the salad bar at Pizza Hut. I mean, it's crazy.
You don't know where that flu shot's coming from anymore.
Yeah, you don't know.
Right, or where it's going to be.
I'm looking forward to next month. We have a run through, we're doing Claremont Opera House, and then we do Rochester in a couple weeks on October 22nd. And then the biggest venue is the Cap Center in Concord, and that one's a ton of fun. And we just have a blast with that audience. It's a great venue, and a lot of great people in that community. It's a lot of fun to do shows for them.
So what if you went to both shows? Would it be the same show, or do they get different jokes at 6:30 and different
No, we'll
jokes
keep
at
the
9?
same show just so I can remember what I did from year to year.
All right.
And yeah, I'm not that much of a savant. I can't change it that much. Yeah, so if I could do that, I'd be in the Guinness Book for different reasons.
True.
Yeah, but
very true.
It's a little bit of elbow grease because I'm a bit more of a simpleton, so I have to keep track of it, write it down, and just keep trucking with it. I love it. It's fun. I've been doing it now 25 years, and people always say, how do you come up with material? Because I think people think that comedians sit around and just brainstorm. Let me come up with something. The key to it is go out and live life and just write stuff down, and if you're naturally funny, stuff will come out. My wife made like a pan of apple crisp last night, and she comes down, and I'm digging out all the crisp. And she goes, what are you doing? And I said, I love the crisp. And she goes, eat the apples, too. I said, well, I don't like the apples. I just like the crisp. And she said, that's ridiculous. And I said, well, you know what's ridiculous is you just won't make a pan of crisp.
It was Apple Betty Day yesterday, by the way.
Was it?
It
Perfect
was.
timing.
It truly was. I remember reading that. Yeah.
Well, I said that, and she laughed, and I was like, well, let me write that down. That could be something. Just the way it came out was good, I guess.
Now, do you ever get inspiration from your show audiences?
Yeah, sometimes. I don't really work the crowd because a lot of guys will do that. They'll go up and work the crowd, and some guys like to go after people in the audience. And I never found that to be beneficial because if you get on a good run with a guy, I think you'd probably have to employ him to go to the next city. Like if you had an exchange with someone in the audience and it was really funny, then you'd have to meet up with that guy afterwards and say, hey, I'm working Poughkeepsie next week. Can you come with me there too? So I never and I don't like to put people in an uncomfortable position in the audience. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I've got enough of my own problems. I don't want to go after them as well. But sometimes people will come up with stuff or they'll say something that'll be inspirational from a writing standpoint. You can put it in. Sure, yeah.
Now, you've always got these guys in the audience that think that they're funnier than the people on stage. How do you handle that?
Well, in the beginning, I would just argue with them and take them to task because I was working mostly bar rooms up in Maine and northern Maine and all these places. And fortunately, the better environment you're in, the less that happens. When you're in clubs and people are paying good money, and I don't care if they yell out stuff to me, but then I get irritated because I look at the people sitting next to them, and those people probably got a babysitter and spent all this money to come out, and then you're like, okay, I do this every night, so I'm not affected by it. But the people sitting next to you, you ruin their night. So we try to shut them down. Or most of the time, I'll just ignore them. And honestly, the way I prep the show is I try to get laughs every 20, 30 seconds. So if they start yelling stuff out, it generally drowns them out. That's the goal. If it's too quiet that they can hear that guy, that's a bad sign.
Bob Marley, we look forward to you being in Concord once again. I know you will pack the place twice on November 12th, and it should be a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. People will be rolling in the aisles as they always do when you perform, and look forward to it. Great to have you with us.
Yeah, I can't thank you enough for having me, and I appreciate it. And have a great weekend, everybody. Go Patriots on Sunday at 1 o'clock.
And what about the Sox? Come on now, Bob.
The Sox tonight and tomorrow night in Cleveland. Here we go. Hey, listen, you could have made a whole weekend to Cleveland, right?
How about that, huh?
You could have got on the plane today, catch the Sox Thursday, Friday, and then stayed overnight and gone. Although that's a rough city. I did a show there a couple of months ago. I went to the mall, and I saw bullet holes in the windows of a Lane Bryant. But anyway, thank you guys for having me. Have a great weekend.
Bob, you as well. Great to hear you. As always. Bob Marley at Capitol Center for the Arts, November 12th. 2 shows. And I would imagine, given Bob's reputation as the king of comedy in New England, that tickets are going quickly for both.
Tickets are going quickly.
All right, as they are for the Beach Boys, so get those as well and all the other events at the Capitol Center for the Arts, ccanh.com, or on Facebook as well.
We are on Facebook, and we have 2 sets of tickets to give away today.
Oh, my goodness. J-Dog, you're going to be busy here. What do we have? We have the Jamie Johnson tickets.
We have those for a lucky caller, and for Bob Marley tickets, we put something on our Facebook page where we ask people to put down a joke, and the Capitol Center staff would choose their favorite, and we would say who that person was at the end of this show, and it is Donald from Pennacook.
All right, Donald, nice job. You'll be going to see Bob Marley, New England's king of comedy, November 12th, Capitol Center for the arts. And so right now, we have those tickets to see Jamie Johnson, 11-time Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter, one of only a few people in the history of country music to win, get this, Song of the Year awards from both the Country Music Association and the Academy of Country Music. So Jamie Johnson, October 22nd, 7:30. That's a Saturday night at the Capitol Center for the Arts. And Lynn, as always, great to have you with us. It was a great half hour, flew by.
It always does.
And plus, we you know what? We got to mention here in the playbill, in the 2016 playbill, Curtain Call on 107.7 WTPL.
Yeah, I kind of have a connection to the person that put that together. So
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Curtain Call has come to an end, but if you would like those 2 tickets to see Jamie Johnson on October 22nd, coming up very quickly, 7:30, caller 3 right now, 1-866-823-1077 is our number. Lynn, thanks again, and we'll look for you in a couple of weeks.
we'll see you in a few weeks.
All right.